only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Well, it's great to have you, but I got to say, you're a bit shorter in person. Did you have to climb a step stool to get on this chair?
This is the BBC. In line with the wishes of the British government to see as much carnage as possible because it's really, really funny, places of entertainment will not be closed even though war has just been declared. The Prime Minister will address the nation again at 9:30 tonight. For those interested, he will be wearing a pink dress, a poncho and a wide-brimmed hat with "Beware of the Leopard" printed across the top in large, friendly letters.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, well, work is hard.
You're not really listening to me, are you?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could say anything right now, like, you're a complete tool.
Mm-hmm.
But you wouldn't hear it, 'cause you're a freak with a microphone.
Uh-huh.
It's not even challenging anymore. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Isn't that true, Sphincter Boy?
Uh-huh. What? Oh! They're getting closer all the time. All right, good information about Wayne Stock. Very exciting. We'll be back with more right after Pig Sports. Right now, it's 16 minutes past the big hour. Is that not right, Mr. Scream?
Well, a naked man is chasing a woman through an alley with a butcher knife and a heart on. I figure he isn't out collecting for the Red Cross. Well, I'm all broken up about that man's run.
Oh, right to the spine.
Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store. Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
I kill demons, not people.
Bullshit!
Unless those people are demons who look like people. And then I kill people.
Don't bullshit me.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit! You said so!
Welcome to the show. Some highlights of 2024. Know what I mean? How good are the cars? Oh, yeah. Cream of the crop. Thanks for that, little macho. Little macho man. Welcome. Just doing an impromptu show. I missed my Monday this week, so I didn't have time to really do much of anything. So I've still got other Monday ones coming up in following weeks, so I kind of rescheduled them. How good are the cars? They're pretty good, man. I have to use them to get to work every day, but I don't have a Cars CD in my car, unfortunately. Wish I had one in there. So I'm going to do some like highlights of sort of this year, sort of collecting highlights, also like show highlights, like guest talks and people I've been talking to, and that have really enjoyed. Cup of coffee in the big times, as Hazel. I don't do much or anything. It's none of your business. I don't know why I said in that voice, but that's the choice I made. Oh, yeah, so getting some collecting highlights. This one's just to kind of sneak peek this little image here. There's a video I'm working on. When I say video, it'll be a bunch of still images, kind of like documentary style. We get a bunch of still images of stuff and a little bit of voiceover. I did one a few months back, quite a few months back, on Ninja Turtle retrospective thing, where it was about like my early life as a kid growing up with Turtles media and such. So that was like my personal experience as like one individual human being on the planet. I'm doing a follow-up to that. This one will be not about me, but about the people who worked on the Turtles media in the early days. Archie Comics, Playmates, Mirage Studios, Murakami, Wolf Swenson, bit of a mouthful that did the original animation. So I've done a lot of research in the last couple of years for my own enjoyment, but also for stuff I'm working on. And I'm turning that into a video, which will probably be around, I don't know, like eventually will be around 20 minutes, but it's taking like several months to make it in tiny little snippets of images and bits of audio, and then I stitch it all together at the end. But that's just kind of a sneak peek at something, but it won't be out till next year, maybe January or February, depending on how much time I have available, because it's one of those time-intensive ones that just takes forever to actually build, but I do enjoy the end result. So that one's coming along, and it kind of was on the back burner for several months, and now I've made it a bit of a priority to get back into it and really like crank it out over the next like month or two. So some collecting highlights, and I just chucked together a bunch of images in here. I haven't got everything in here for the year because there's just too many things, and I might do something else in January of as far as like, you know, like a top 10 sort of collecting figured toys or something. So I was mostly turtle stuff in this one. Picked up this big cool Mutant Mayhem giant size Raph who's still on my desk just over here. I end up putting him on the desk and he hasn't left since. He's not really supposed to be there. He sits under this armature, and sometimes when I move it, it knocks him over, and it's very handy when you're doing a show when things fall over and make noises in the background. And I like the Mutant Mayhem Raph so much. I've got several of him. Got the version with the helmet on. I tried him out there on the classic vintage Turtles bike. Picked up more of that Turtles bike in the last 6-12 months. So I have a few different display options there. Toilet Taxi reissue came out a couple of months back. Picked that up. Used to have it as a kid. Got rid of it at some point. Didn't really intend to own it again, but the reissue came out. Price was okay. A bit pricey for Oz, but reasonable, I guess. And I don't know, really enjoyed it. Really, that was a highlight actually picking it up, along with the Technodrome reissue. Size malarkey aside, never owned one, so it doesn't affect me too much as far as display options. But yeah, Toilet Taxi, really cool piece to pick up this year. And it was going on, I guess it'll be going on a year ago, end of last year or January, when I got the Mutant Mayhem turtle van like on sale. Yeah, I think it was earlier this year because it was very pricey and it went on sale. On sale price, it was quite reasonable. At full price, it was rubbish. I bought the solo van on sale on Amazon from old stock at about $50 compared to new at retail. It was something like 80 retail. It was crazy. Or they re-released it from last year this year with like 2 figures and pumped it up for 110 or 120, some crazy fucking price. Zazel says Archie TMT, all my Turtles comics. Yeah, that's the ones I actually read as a kid. I've got the complete run of them. I picked up a few years ago in the IDW reprints. We'll be talking about them again at some point. And hey there, buddy, says Kiwi Joy Customs. I wonder if he says in that voice like Kramer on Seinfeld. He's like, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Kiwi. And we get an actual kiwi fruit in there that displays nicely. Sometimes there's stupid icons, you know, they come up and they just say like smile face or red button square, and you don't know what the heck it's meant to be, but it's actually displayed properly. Well done. Well done. Smash that like button. Hey, Zazel buddy. I should say it in the proper way. Smash like button. Like that. That's how you say it. But yeah, I've never owned the vintage Turtles van or the various reissues because it's not the best toy. But I've got, I mean, this is my third or fourth different one from Modern Lines. And the Mayhem one's really nice, really cool van, displays nicely, has a big sliding gimmick on the side, like the pizza thrower thing. The big seat comes out and it fires pizzas out if you want to put the batteries in. But I've never put batteries in it, so I don't care. It still looks cool. Too busy to be firing pizzas around the neighborhood, like, I don't know, adults, children, whoever's going around. Wild birds, perhaps. Picked up this Super 7 Krang, which is like a giant-sized Krang. This toy is an absolute piece of crap, but it looks nice on the shelf, and it's a lot more affordable than the vintage giant-sized Krang from the line, which I've never seen or will never own. Good luck in finding one in Australia, especially at a reasonable price. I don't even see them on eBay. Like, it's all American stock. So yeah, this is like a emulation of that old vintage toy, except it's a big hollow shell. It's really poor quality, but it looks nice. That's the best I can say. It's completely hollow and super lightweight. Very poor quality. A little like prong thing on his head, like Black Bolt from Marvel Comics, that tuning fork thing. That broke without me even touching it, just taking it out of the box. That's how poor quality it was. I had to super glue that back on the moment I opened it. The little minifigure of Krang is possibly one of the best Krangs ever. It's really nice. Like, he's a proper little mini figure in solid. He's not stupidly hollow like the big figure is. But he's really cool. Inside the chest, there's a wheel with a mouse that can spin around. The gimmick in the Super Cyborg or Super 7 Cyborg thing, it's like the 70s Jumbo Machinda things where they've got weird gimmicks. The chest panel comes off. There's a Megatron one, there's a Prime one, and a Soundwave one. They're all fucking awful. And they've got little panels and stuff, but the plastic is so brittle and so rubbish, you would never take it off and on. So once you put it on, just leave it the fuck alone because it'll break if you mess with it. So the gimmicks are useless, but the details and paint are nice. I picked up quite a few of these skate park sets. I forget who the heck makes them, but they're in like Kmart and Big W here. They're all over the place. They're quite pricey, but I try and get them when they're on sale. And I only picked them up to go with some kind of Ninja Turtles stuff. The quality is really good. The plastic's really strong and these are quite durable. You know, you could kind of pick them up and drop them, not going to break or anything. And the cool thing is that they're modular and you can make any combination you like of these ramps and like vertical bits and barriers and whatever. And you can put them together in different combinations with little pegs and come up with whatever style you like. But here I've got like Mikey going up on the board and a bit of a Raph attack there. Donnie in the turtle van in the background. Had that on the dining table one time because this is wider than my shelf, so I was just trying out different combinations of skate park stuff. Close up with these guys here, and the Tech Deck skateboards are just like generic skateboards or whatever you can buy loose, as well as some come with the sets. But yeah, the sets are really nice, and I've changed my display up a few times for the Mutant Mayhem ones, and they look real. They go really cool with the skate park stuff, and the Mayhem figures are quite posable, so you can do kind of whatever you want with these. Really, quite cool. So hello to Philator, whoever made that wasn't using the brain. Kiwi G, I can't wait for next year, bro. We're gonna get some Kiwis together. That's your idea, John, my man. Oh yeah. Well, I kind of blame Zazel and Phil. It's like their idea as well. So full credit to them as well. I blame all of you equally. Tech Deck, there you go. I knew it. See, before I sat down and was doing this, I could just go, oh yeah, Tech Deck like that. But the moment I sit down and start talking, my mind goes blank. I'm like, I've forgotten everything I've ever learned in my life. The moment I sit down here. Awesome, dude. Radical. Mondo Notion. Another highlight this year was picking up some of the vintage Kenner Aliens figures and stuff. I had 2 or 3 back in the 90s that I didn't buy new at the store. A friend of mine kind of grifted them onto me. Like when we used to do like trades and stuff we didn't want anymore, and I had some back then, but at some point I didn't have them no more, and I was kind of pining after getting the bull, the gorilla, and the Scorpion alien, which is the one that explodes, this little button gimmick. The 3 I used to have back in the 90s. So I did pick those up again. And then I kept looking at them for weeks on eBay, and I've started finding deal after deal because they're fairly common, cheap for most of the line. Some of the line is the later stuff was more expensive and only got released in certain territories. But it's a fairly affordable line to get into. So when a mixed lot came up on eBay for a good price, I would just pick it up. And the timing was good because I wanted to get some anyway. And then on the Boba Joe show, which is a weekly podcast to do with my mate Mark, we wanted to do some Aliens specials about like comics, movies, video games, toys. So picking up more of these was like for my own collection I wanted, but also I wanted to be able to show off some of them during the talk and that. So it worked out quite well. I was really happy to pick them up. I got this weird little tank thing, part of the line. One of the mixed lots of Aliens came with this, like Kenner makes the Aliens. Kenner also did these Terminator 2 figures, so that came with on mixed lots, and I just chucked that Arnold Terminator in the tank, and it was kind of cool, and he lives in there. I picked up a box Ripley, which I have opened, but I've kept the nice card back and all that on there. And Wild Boar Alien, I've opened them since, and because I do buy things to open, you can still pick up sealed Alien. Some of it's sealed cheap, and some of the loose stuff is quite cheap as well. This image here, I forgot to rotate, so it's all out of proportion. What it says in there, it was one of my notes I made mid-year. It says Alien, Predator, Robocop, Terminator. Me and Mark on Boba Joe, we did a heap of different specials about the movies, the toys, the comics, the video games and stuff about this different media. And up the side there, I've got movie, animation, figures, comics, merchandise, live shows or stage attractions like, Universal Studios or whatever, and sequels. That was kind of my chart for keeping track of all this different media when I was researching all these different ones and looking up what existed for different things. Robocop and WCW, that was like one of the craziest things ever. Reorganizing my Turtles-themed shelves. Hello, everyone. Gonna watch Predator and Aliens on the holidays. Never seen them in their entirety. What the? Are you bullshitting us? What you say? Are you talking about just like some of the other movies? Not like you've never watched the first Predator all the way through or something. I guess you mean like some of the multiple movies. That's okay. You can stop. You can watch Predator and Predator 2. That's fine. You don't have to go on to the other ones. You can watch Aliens. You don't have to watch anything after that. That's the most important one. Same as Terminator. Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Forget everything else. There's some other ones that are okay, like Predator, that one that was Prey, where it was, took place back in the, 1700s, 1800s, whatever. That one is all right. But most of the sequels, you can just forget them, man. Go with the early ones are the best. What's Zazel saying? Saying we did the Aliens and Predator marathon over a few weeks. All the Aliens, all the Predators, all the verses. Yeah, see, I don't count the verses because they're not, to me, they're not true movies. They're rubbish. You can watch them. I mean, I've watched them all at once myself years ago, but I remember back in the 90s when they were going to do James Cameron's Spider-Man. That's right, Spider Friends. And that never happened. At the same time, there was scuttlebutt back in the 90s of an Aliens Predator movie, which never happened, but we did get the Capcom video game. We got several years of Dark Horse comics, and that was going to be leading into a film, but it never happened. And years later, they did these other rubbish ones. So the proper crossovers were meant to happen way back then and just never happened as far as films. Boba Hicks, where? Well, you know where he is. He's on with Universal Collective with Stu talking about Star Wars, because you know that for a fact, because I saw your comment. Very cheeky, man. Pivot Space Capsule, he's up there. Give him a salute. Doing his best for us up there in space. Stupid day job. Wish we could hang out Legos instead. Hit the like. We've got not one, not two, but 3 rockets there. That's a 1, 2, 3 rocket salute there for sure. Space Commander, Rocket Red, countdown, liftoff, engines on. He's in his space capsule up there. Spacey. Boba Hicks saying you're in for a treat for watching for the first time. Yeah, just don't go too far. Watch the early ones. Ignore the later sequels. Phil had a rough GF in my early 20s. I missed a lot of cool stuff. What's Phil saying? And I've got, see, it's done that thing now where it's done the emoji, but I've got a little square box instead of the proper symbol. I have to look on YouTube, see what that is. It's a little like two blue men kissing. Well, I don't know if they're men. It's two human beings hugging or possibly kissing on the YouTube version. I can't tell what it is. They could be Vulcan mind melding for all I know. I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, other highlights. So I've organized Turtles figures on a shelf behind, like the one back there that did used to have big NECA stuff on top of that. And it was a completely different shelf a year ago. It had totally different things on there. Changed over a few times. It was my main Autobots in the middle. But I got my NECA lot up the top, which is all like the NECA cartoon collection. Up the top there, as you can see, this image on the left. The middle one's got the Super 7s, which I didn't even want any of these on here. I actually wanted them up on the back wall, but I've got to go and remeasure and pick up that shelf I'm always on about. Like I've got money in the bank. Just need time to go and measure and order the shelves and then put them together. Just going to get simple kit metal frame ones that go together easy and they're not too heavy. So anyway, the Super 7 one's in the middle. And I've shuffled them around a bit again recently to get some more guys in there because it was a big mix-up. And the shelf after that, which was my kind of always rotating shelf, where I just kind of change up and put new stuff and whatever's on there. Had some Street Fighters on there, had some Turtles and Pokemon. That one's all Mutant Mayhem at the moment. Other cool highlights are picked up here from the Kenner Aliens collection. I've got the Scorpion Alien Gorilla. I've now got 4 or 5 of those gorillas because I've picked up at least 3 different mixed lots over 6 months. Most recent one was only about a month ago. I got the Panther Cougar Alien or Thunder Cougar Krakenbird, whatever it's called. Some kind of warrior predator thing. The Mantis Alien, which is a cool transparent plastic, and that like lava predator is also transparent. I have the 2 of them down on the shelf over to the side there where they get the light. Those 2 are awesome, and I got them in a mixed lot from America, including the import prices. But there were no Mantis Aliens anywhere in eBay Australia, so I was really happy to pick those guys up. So they were like 2. The Mantis Alien's just one of the coolest ones they ever did in that line, so I was really happy to get that figure. Close up with these guys just out in the lounge in front of the window here in the winter. And you can see how cool that transparent plastic is there. They made really good quality figures out of these guys. Like all the ones I picked up secondhand, they're even if they're kind of banged up, they're still like been played with and that. They're still displayed nice. The quality of the plastic's good. It's not going gummy like some of my old Turtles and stuff are. So whatever secret magic mix they made these guys out of, they did a really good job and really cool sculpts in this line. Some comparison to some Krangs. A fly-by visit from Ian Sweeney. Dropped a like, got a funeral to go to. Oh, geez, that's a bit sad. So look after yourself, Ian. Have a good one, people. Peace. Take it easy. So got a couple of Krangs here. We've got the BSTAXN, like the stupidest name ever for any kind of action figures. Best action, not really. Worst action most of the time, if we're honest about quality of them. Although that Krang is probably the best figure they've done. They have done a Super Shredder since, which is comparable to the NECA one, but it's like not quite as good, but it looks decent. In the middle is like the Mega Blocks Krang. It's quite cool, quite posable. All those joints in that is right nice. And then that big Super 7 one there. So I guess the one on the left is about 7-8 inch, so it puts the other big one at about close to 10 inch or so, and that's on my Super 7 shelf. And then on the front, Bubble Walker Reissue Krang, and then the other BST Krang, who's also one of the better Krangs around. Bit of Krang on the brain. On the Turtles in the corner, changed up this display as I do about every 6 or 12 months. I took everything off this shelf one day, which took probably About 2 hours, I guess. I took everything down that was there, dusted every individual toy. So anything I put away in the box or tub, always dust it first. So it's not carrying all the crap with it. Then I had to dust the shelf, multi-tiered shelves itself. And it's kind of hard to reach where it is in the corner at the moment with stuff in front of it. So I was careful not to bloody hit my back. And then I carefully chose each figure for each section. And I went, I want to get a different display going on. Changed up who was in there. Some of those figures had never been on display as far as in recent years, so it was cool to get them out there again. I've got this big, I forget the name of this thing, that's like Salamandroid. There you go. I think it was beginning of this year, or might have been last year. That Salamandroid was on sale on eBay, and it was a chat one time. Zazel and Space Commander and people on there, and there was mentioned about it, and I went on the eBay right then when they were talking, and I was like, oh, I'll have that, and put it in my turtle stuff. The tail, it's really big, and the tail is so crazy long. Like this 3-tiered display shelf thing for turtles. The tail is so long, it goes down all 3 levels. And if you look at the image on the left, there's like a little cagey entrance sewer bit. The tail goes all the way down to there. It's completely crazy. I don't know why they made the tail so long. Sometimes I forget, and I go to move it or touch it, I'm like, wow, that tail's going all the way down to the bottom of the display stand. It's just nuts. There's another alien hiding in there too, a little cougar alien dude. Picked up these sketch turtles a few months back. Krang Motu fig looks pretty cool. Yeah, I've got him. He's just over on the side here of my Motu display. Oh, hang on, let's go like that. That's how far this cord goes. He's just over. There he is, just back in there. Next to the old Snake Mountain. Yeah, he's really cool. The Motu one was a reuse of the Superstars Andre Buck, and they split it in half, and they added the Krang as an individual piece in the middle. I never heard of it until Spacey told me about it. I didn't know the figures existed. I knew that like the Cyber Frog was like a 90s comic, because I'd seen it in comic shops back in the day, but I didn't know those toys existed, which was cool. These sketch turtles from the 40th anniversary Playmate stuff, I wasn't going to buy these because I've never been a fan of the early chubby sketch version that precedes the actual first issue. It was like, concept sketches. But and then I thought, oh, I'll have a look at them. And when I got them, like, these are some of my favorite toys I've picked up all this year. I really like these little chubbers. Hang on, turn that light off on that stupid camera. It'll blind me. Yeah, they turned out really nicely. They got nice little kind of inky marks and black on them. The paint and details are nice. The quality is quite good. The posing's really basic, but the joints are nice and stiff, so they don't like go flopping on the arms and all that. And when you turn them sideways, they're really chubby. They're like twice the width of most other turtle stuff. The weapons are really, really nice too. Some of the best turtle weapons they've done. Good details. Like Donatello's got actual kind of painted weathering and black on top of the like the wrap on the bow. Looks really good. Mikey's got the proper chains on the Chucks. Raph's sires have like not only red but gold on the handle, so that like, a lot of the time the weapons aren't painted much at all, but this one turns out really nicely. And the little display stand bases go together as 4 little kind of like square circle things. That they turned out quite decent as well. So over on the Mutant Mayhem shelf, I just rearranged these yet again to about my 4th different configuration in recent months. As I was watching the Ronnie Trick Shot and Shark Eyes live, I was actually rearranged these guys just as I was listening to them. And I also unboxed another Street Shark while I was watching their show just then. Because I thought I've got to have something to do because I'm sitting in the room and it's hot and I need to get up and move around. Might as well make myself sweat some more. So it's fairly crowded, but I'm just cramming them all in there for now. I always get to this point where I put a few things in. This is my fun mess around shelf where I come in and muck around. And there's figures I've bought in the last 2 weeks, last 4 weeks, last 6 weeks on here. Picked up different Mikeys. One at the top left on the skateboard's got a helmet on. Picked him up. He came with a weird skateboard thing, which is over here. he came with this big gimmicky skateboard thing. I didn't really want it, but it comes with like a motor and it rolls like that. But good luck trying to get him to actually stand on these weird little stand things. You've nearly break the feet to get him in there. But the gimmick seems fine for the kids to mess around with. I just bought it because it's another Mikey variant. It's the same basic figure. He's just got a helmet on his head and a slightly different head sculpt. But I thought it looks cool to go off the skateboard and the skate park and all that. Old Flying Fox, which I think came from the 2002 line. I got it in loose parts on eBay. I hooked that up. So I've got that other Mikey there with the no bandana on. He's like hanging out up there. Got that Destroyer. I think it's Destroyer Duck. Is that his name? From the Bucky O'Hare. I picked him up on eBay for $20 just loose recently. Got him in there. Got some Frog Brothers. Got a couple of different bikes in there. I got the vintage bike. I got the Mayhem scooter and some other ones. Got a space raft, turtle van. There's all sorts in there. If we have a look on this one. So the big drill nose guy who's hanging out in the garbage thing, I opened him on the weekend. I'm assuming he's a bad guy from Street Sharks. I don't know the names of any of the characters. These are the new Mattel ones from the last year or two. I got these on the Mattel Shop Australia for actual normal retail price, and the quality of them's bloody well great. Like the paint and look of them's beautiful. The articulation's good. I didn't even know they had gimmicks till I got them, and the gimmicks all work well. His big drill nose thing spins around. The other guy's head just goes, and his jaw just chomps around. The dude with the blue shark, the stripes, he comes with extra set of hands like normal ones, and then these big crazy claw ones, kind of like a Wolverine. Put them on straight away, and he's got rollerblades on his feet. And I was just mucking about with it on the shelf, and he rolls like super smooth. I didn't know the wheels moved. Most modern toys are real cheap garbage, and you don't even get, even on Transformers, half the time the wheels don't move. They're just like for looks. But the rollerblade wheels are super smooth, and I was just rolling them back and forth going, this is actually quite fun. Malibu Stacy with a new hat. Yeah, exactly. It's Mikey. Mikey with the shell that opens. Mikey with the helmet. Mikey with no bandana. Mikey with the Hawaiian outfit. Motorized skateboards are the future of urban transport. Yeah, like fuck what's around here, man. All those bloody electric scooters and bikes. They go zipping up the street in the dark and on the road. They're always on like the wrong side of the road. They never stop. They never go away. Fucking idiots. They're just like suicidal zipping around. It annoys the shit out of me. But yeah, I'm real happy with these Mattel Street Sharks. And they come in a nice box, and you get a little plastic cage. They're like the box and the cage is all kind of wrapped around. And it's got a cool hook on there. So if you want to hang it up, you can hang it on the wall or whatever. I've still got one more to open because I just turned up on the weekend. So there's the other one. I think this is, Big Slamu. He's the only guy. His name actually knew. What's his gimmick? Let's see. The mouth, I guess. There we go. Hello, you are watching a thing on the internet and hearing this in a very annoying voice. Don't put fingers in the mouth. Oh, God, stop biting me, Jesus. Why'd you do that? You're supposed to be one of the good guys. But, the box is really cool. You get, like, little bits of artwork on the back, little cutaway window for the gimmick so you can try it out. It's very much a retail thing, but I don't know if these have gone anywhere retail here. I've only seen them on Mattel Shop Australia. But you get the cool box and then the plastic cage thing. And I love the way the cage is actually like bent, like they're breaking out of it. But I'm going to open him probably tomorrow or so. So other highlights of this year. Catch up latest is Kiwi GI. I need to appreciate everyone here. Really a beautiful sleep. Oh, thank you for checking out, man, because it's super late over there. So I don't expect you to hang around. I know how late it is. You got family and things to do and people to manage and sleep to be slept. There you go. So thanks for hanging out. Later, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up. So I'm gonna wind up the next sort of 5-10 max. So other highlights of this year have been doing Boba Joe's show with partner in crime Mark Lennon, who lives over in Ireland, and we've been doing regular shows now for we're up to episode 70 something, so more than a year and a half. How long? Closer to 2 years at this point, I guess. We're doing that as like a weekly thing, covering different topics, different movies, pop culture stuff. Sometimes it's a toy thing, sometimes it's a movie or a video game talk. But we've done a few different theme months. One we did this year, we did Magnum PI, Knight Rider, MacGyver, Boba Joe Show, and I kind of called it pilot season because I went back to the very first pilot episodes of each of these shows rather than trying to cover like the whole show that ran for, shows ran for multiple seasons over several years. I got the box sets of all of these. I've been rewatching these in the last 2 years. I did extend this one. We did one more and did a Miami Vice. We already did the actual pilot the previous year, but we did a Miami Vice Castile special because it was just too good not to do. And yeah, it's been a real highlight being able to chat with Mark each week. Amazing dude. Like he's into lots of cool stuff, and it's like a privilege and an honor to getting to talk to him anytime, but especially hanging out, talking about awesome 80s topics and that, as well as like wrestling and other stuff. Speaking of wrestling, we recently did a X-Pac, aka Sean Waltman, aka 123 Kid special, who's like one of Mark's all-time favorite wrestlers. He's like seen him live and had a cool photo with him from when he was a bit younger and that, and in person. And that was really enjoyed getting to do that talk because it was kind of in the back of my mind. What are some things like we did our big Aliens Predator talk early in the year, which is a lot of different stuff, but X-Pac's like one single focused person in the wrestling as opposed to like a big pay-per-view or WrestleMania or Survivor Series, other stuff we talk about. Another theme month, we did a Halloween theme month, not just the John Carpenter movie Halloween, but the month of Halloween in October. We did Halloween and The Fog and some other ones. That was really good fun. Love talking about John Carpenter films. We've done several Playmates, Turtles, toy catalog talks. Most recent one we did was 1993, so we've been going in order. We'll get through all of them eventually. Like we've done nearly half of them now because it goes up to whatever year it finishes. But those have been really fun. I know Phil's enjoyed those. He likes his Turtles and he likes his catalogs. And old Epic Badger likes a bit of catalog action. So that's been an absolute highlight, getting to talk to a regular mate, Mark, and different topics and whatnot. But like it's been just awesome. A big special we did about middle of the year, Predator, Alien, and we covered movies, we covered video games, we talked about Dark Horse comic books. We did a big special on the Kenner Aliens toy series, which is, I think that was about 2 hours. And we covered like the entire toy line, which there's not that many total toys compared to other stuff, but we covered all of that in one thing, which was pretty awesome. Kiwi saying will catch the replay. Yeah, cool. I'm going to finish up in a minute there. Dynamic duo. Boba Hicks is getting either hearts or spinning around in circles, a little smiley face. Boba and Joe go together like white on rice. I feel like a cigarette after I watch these brochure streams, says Phil. He's like laying back going, oh yeah, that's some smooth flavor country. Oh yeah, some plastic crack there. Wonderful. Yeah, we did a big special on Aliens and Predator. And of all the specials we've done, this one started out as like probably 3 or 4 episodes. I think we ended up doing like 6 or 7 episodes in a row. So it was basically nearly 2 months of nothing but Alien and Predator. Because it's like I love all this stuff. Mark's probably even a bigger fan of me of these, as well as like RoboCop and Terminator. And I just thought, why not just do it justice? Because there's so much stuff to cover. So we've done over 10 hours now just talking about Aliens and Predator, just about the early classic stuff, not basically the 90s, 80s, 90s stuff, staying in that sort of era. And then to sum it up, after we did all these specials, it happened to be our 50th episode. So we did a big special. We thought, fuck it, let's just talk about Aliens and Predator and Terminator and RoboCop all together on the one show. Talk about toys and movies and everything. And those specials turned out really awesome. I'm really proud that we did those this year. And like I enjoy going back and checking them out again. Even when I'm in it, you got to just like kind of just go fingers in the ears. Don't listen to what anything I'm saying, so I could listen to more of what Mark's saying. Because on the day and the time, you're kind of clicking buttons and the mouse and juggling images, and you're listening, but you don't always comprehend and remember everything. So I like to go back and rewatch stuff so I can remember it better. And same as I like to go back and rewatch, like, I don't know, Kiwi GI Tour of Duty talk. That was one of my highlights of this year. That just went together so well. I did a talk with him earlier the year on his channel. We just kind of hung out and shoot the shit. And we both kind of said, like, you know, let's do something else later in the year. Didn't really know what. I happened to be getting into the rewatching the Tour of Duty show from the beginning. And I was watching that, and I don't know how it came up, but he said something about it, or I said something about it. Like, he liked the show, and I said, "Well, do you want to do a talk about that?" I said, "Let's do it." And I picked like an episode or two or characters, and we crapped on about that. But that was like such a great, fun talk this year. Really enjoyed that, and more recently did another talk on his channel again. It was the end of the year, just hanging out with him and his brother. Did a cool video. Well, just a bunch of nonsense, really. Just making up. I lay there awake at night and I make up just little silly kind of, I call them like radio dramas, theater of the mind. And I've done a few of these like wrestling dramas, like, and this is like fourth or fifth kind of one I've done like this. I call it PCW, which is, you can mean anything you want. I just went, well, I live in Perth Championship Wrestling, PCW, just like you get like GCW Georgia and stuff like that. So we had Philator the Barbarian versus the Zazinator, Logan Phoenix. He's got the very Logan singlet on there, and the old aviators. But yeah, that was really good fun putting that together. And the cool thing was, as I asked each of you dudes separately, Nate and Phil, and who's the other guy again? Oh yeah, Logan something, whatever his name is, that guy. I said you guys separately, like in the chat, saying, "Oh, do you mind doing a little audio ad thing for like, it's going to be like an ad that appears in the video?" But I didn't say all the details about what the video is going to be, and I didn't mention that all three were going to be in the same thing together. So that, you know, I might have like mentioned a little bit here and there because it was a few weeks putting it together. But that turned out really fun, and it was just awesome having like you guys do little guest like ad spots for the thing. Like, it was a real highlight for me, so that was great fun. Really enjoyed doing that. Rematch Phil, yeah, it's going to happen. We'll look to January or February, I think, because I've got a few projects on the go, and it's real time consuming doing those wrestling ones. I love doing them, but the editing on it is like 20 or 30 hours of editing. Because I have to make the I write it. I don't write any of it down. I literally just think of it in my mind, and I sit there and I type it in and generate the audio, like the little AI voice thing where it says like Philator does this or whatever, the narration. I think of it. I picture in my mind like the kind of scene, and then I sit there and type it in. And I get each audio clip, which is 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So I might have like 100 audio clips that I've got to edit together, and then I've got to make some images and I've got to edit them together. And then after I've got the basic layout of the scenes, I add in some silly sound effects from stuff I find on YouTube. There was a rip of some sound effects CDs I found one time online that had like realistic gunshots and explosions. I've used that a heap. Lam Echo, how's it, Johnny? Stopping to share some love, brother. I'll definitely catch my replay. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Phil saying, "You've been a shining light this year. Love you, Sean." Oh, thank you, Phil. That's very kind. That was fun, he says. Sploosh. But yeah, I'm going to read you guys' comments and I'll sum up and finish up here. Hey, Lamb. Lock up your daughters. Throw away your sons. Yeah, Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane. Did a talk to my mate Bjorn Jorgensen, who's an awesome dude who lives over in America. And he does really cool customs and such with figures. He's a big like Star Wars fan and some other stuff as well, wrestling, of course. And I said to him, next time, let's do a talk about your custom figure stuff you like posting on Instagram. Some of them are like full custom things. Some are kind of like part swap stuff. He comes up with different stuff. And he's got all kinds of stuff he does with other like groups and people and that we don't even see. And I'm like, well, we want to see some more of that. Let's see some more of these cool custom things he does. So I said, next time, instead of doing wrestling talk, because I've done a bunch of them now, let's do one about your custom stuff. So hopefully we'll do that kind of earlish next year, because we have done a bunch of talks with Bjorn, and he's a great dude to talk to about wrestling stuff. Like, he's been a fan for a long time, and but it'd been so many months like since we've done one, and I wish we could do them more regularly. But it's always timing and life and things get in the way, and and then everyone's got we've got family and responsibilities, and I won't share anything private about him, but he's got certain responsibilities, so we've got a window of what timing we can do things, and sometimes it lines up and sometimes it doesn't. It's my daytime, his nighttime, and such. But yeah, finally we got to hang out, and we had a chat about Undertaker and Kane, talking about the old Brothers of Destruction, and that was really good fun. Phil saying, hey, Lamb. T4T, Zazzle, Laminator. It's got to get laminated. Or maybe not. Don't do that. We'll just go with Laminator. That sounds better. But yeah, so I think we'll pretty much finish up there. Because I just wanted to do a bit of... Oh, sorry, there's one more thing in here. I forgot there's another. The Goji Tron. The Goji Man. Geek Supreme. Nerd Knowledge. Amazing dude. Very generous with his time. I feel bad sometimes asking him a favor, because I'm like, can we hang out and talk about comics and stuff? And he's like, of course we can. But he's got work and other things and responsibilities like we all do. He's been very generous to me. But in more ways than one. Like, we've done a bunch of talks on various topics. We've done Hulk. We've done this Battle of the Crossovers one about Marvel DC comic crossovers a few months back, which was pretty awesome. The most recent one. I've got a playlist. If you hit up playlists on my channel, you can see the other talks we've done over the last year or so on there. I've got more in the future. Next one, sometime next year, we're going to do the Incredible Hulk TV pilot. So the beginning of the old 70s Lou Ferrigno TV show. And actually, he also gifted me some toys this year, which is totally unexpected. It started off, it was one toy he picked up that he knew I was after that I couldn't get locally, and I couldn't import it at all. It was just not around. And then when it turned up here, I got this box, and I took one thing, and there was another thing, and another. I was like, bloody hell, Goji Tron! He sent me a whole pile of stuff. I thought I better make a bloody video about this so people could see how generous he was. He sent me a whole pile of awesome stuff. There was a bunch of the Turtles. I can't even say their name. Turtles Motu Grayskull. The Turtles Masters crossover thing, anyway. Because I had some of them, but some just weren't available at all. Kane and the Undertaker. I'm coming for you, dead man. Full bearer voice. But yeah, it was awesome hanging out with Goji Tron, and I always look forward to doing more talks with him, because he's aficionado of many things, from Godzilla to Incredible Hulk to 70s Marvel and DC comics, not to mention Transformers, of course. Me, Goji Tron, and Mark are like probably three hardcore long-term Transformers collectors as well. Although we not always talking about those topics, but it's always kind of in the background. But yeah, I'm going to wind up here, and I will say thank you to Philator, Zazzle, Lamb Echo 1, QEGI, Boba Hicks, and all the rest. And everyone else, if I've forgotten to say your name, I'm just scrolling back. Ian Sweeney. Thank you, Ian Sweeney. And Space Commander to ground control. Check ignition. And may God's collectibles be with you, Space Commander, out there in space. But yeah, thanks for checking out this impromptu hangout. I didn't get to do a Monday one, and I was too tired, and I didn't have stuff organized. And today I did have time, home a bit early from work. So I thought, might as well hang out. And I've got other Boba Joes coming up, talking about all kinds of cool stuff on the weekend. I've got some other Monday lives planned. I've got like a Commodore 64 one, a Turtles one, and a bunch of other nonsense. But anyhow, thanks to all you guys, and let's peace out.